remanded over police enlistment scam. 853,000 math sets calculators to be distributed to 2021 WASI candidates. And NLA threatens to sanction Alpha Lotto. Also, this story, marital pressures, COVID-19 complications, cause of police suicide. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Africa under 20 Nations Cup satellites in flying start and goal shy Oli beats Sharks. That's it for the Ghanaian Times. Kojo?
The Daily Statesman is my first newspaper. Banner headline, NDC lawyer attacks Supreme Court. Dr. Anyene accuses justices of predetermined agenda against Mahama. Also, Appointments Committee to reschedule vetting date for Ken Ofori-Atta. Roads Minister designate advocates more road tolls to augment development. NLA says Alpha Lotto is not among our legal digital lottery operators. And on the back, two sports stories. Werner ends goal drought as Chelsea beats Newcastle to go fourth being the fourth position. Melissa Sata makes confession after Kevin Prince Boateng breakup.
Okay. That's interesting. Are you done, Kojo?
Oh, yes, I'm done with the Statesman.
On the back page of the Daily Guide, why Papish dumped Hearts, and apparently he stated plainly that he sees no hope in turning things around in the club. On the front page of the Daily Guide, judges have predetermined agenda. That's according to Dominic Ayine. Interchanges major roads for second term. That's Kwesi Amoakwata, who was vetted yesterday. Election petition, Mahama dismissed 7-0. Can't reopen case. Then also fight erupts over gaming license. A statement has been released. Edu Boahen is acting as the president's rep at the finance ministry, whilst Ken Ofori-Atta is away and yet to be vetted apparently in March, God willing. Also, Kojo Ponkrumah speaking, you can't compare 2013 and 2021 election petitions. That's it for the Daily Guide.
You know that confession by Kevin Prince Boateng's ex-wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's something to do with them having sex 10 times a week, apparently.
Oh.
Yes, more on that on another show. The Daily Graphic has roads dualization in offing, Minister Designate assures, and he talks of the Cape Coast, the Accra Cape Coast Road, the Accra Kumasi Road, that they will be dualized and that these are in the offing. Time to tax Momo proceeds, that's Ursula Ekofo. So higher road tolls and tax on Momo. You can't reopen case, Supreme Court tells Mahama. That's also on the front page. On the back, we have a couple of development stories. Obuasi Rotary Club assists 20 communities, and Children Believe supports flood victims in Saboba district.
Okay, the Finder this morning is reporting Dr. Bawumia's brilliance compelled Dr. Afarijan into the witness box, not a subpoena. That's according to Kojo Ponkrumah. 542 succumbed to COVID-19, 33 others in critical condition. I think the number on the Ghana Health Service website is a little bit higher than that, but perhaps this is from yesterday. Mahama failed to adduce new evidence and show how it will help resolve the case. Supreme Court. 1,200 kilometer asphalt overlays completed in 2020. And CocoBot CEO celebrates Chocolate Week with school children in Tano North.
Let us prepare our hearts for the word of the Lord.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which raises against you in judgment you shall condemn.
Amen.
That's the word of the Lord. And here is the word of the Chronicle. Jean Mensah escapes Chachu's legal trap as the law, in quote, fails to convince law lords in subpoena battle.
Interesting.
Also on the front page, Baumia's braininess forced Afarijan into the witness box, not a subpoena. That's a variation of what we heard in the Finder. NLA threatens to revoke Alpha Lotto's license if... And I will seek increment in road tolls when approved. That's Amoakwata speaking. Bunch of sports stories on the back. Ronaldo storms Portugal as Juve battles Porto. David Alaha to leave Bayern Munich after 13 years. Under 20 AFCON. Boaz brace helps Ghana brush Tanzania aside. And Dortmund must improve or will have no chance against Sevilla. And that's Haaland speaking. Erling Braut Haaland.
Okay, my very last paper is the Business and Financial Times. Transparency issues stain world-class COVID-19 test regime at KIA. That's according to an aviation expert. Apparently, also over $15 million raked in so far by operator. Prioritize remaining $750 million debt to get us cheaper gas, IPPs, to government. And Avoku Prempe has been speaking, selecting nuclear energy vendor is top of my agenda, presumably from when he was vetted. That's it for the Business and Financial Times.
Right. Okay. So the new Crusading Guide has Election 2020 petition. SC dismisses NDC's move to reopen case. Alpha Lotto not part of our digital lottery operators. NLA management. Chamanteng Foundation refurbishes 2 boreholes at Isikuma Odobing Brakwa district. Osiahene of Osu calls for peace. DCE fingered in NPP's defeat in Ayinsuano. Okere district is progressing, observes Dan Kenneth. That's also within the pages of the new Crusading Guide. I'll finish with the Ghanaian Observer. Supreme Court turns down John Mahama. You can't reopen your case or subpoena EC boss. Info Minister designate scolds NDC lawyers over claim that Supreme Court has predetermined agenda against Mahama. Finance Minister designate writes to Appointments Committee. Akufo-Addo's government undertook massive road projects in first term. That's according to Amwakwata, Minister designate for roads. Alpha Lotto not among our legal digital lottery operators. And that's the NLA speaking. Right, the online review brought to us this morning by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. Tell you a bit about Zenith Bank. You can make life simple on the go by paying the easy way with a Zenith MasterCard or Visa card, either online or in-store with your Zenith card. You can pay for Facebook ads, Netflix, iTunes, Amazon subscriptions, and so forth. You can also pay for your online shopping or your purchases in store on any point-of-sale terminal. So don't stress. Use your Zenith MasterCard or Visa card for safe, secure, and convenient card transactions. Zenith Bank, delivering customer-centric banking in your best interest.
Great, Kudu. So we'll get to the online story shortly, but Kwete Nate has joined us this morning because we need to talk about what's happening when it comes to the management of suspected COVID-19 patients at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Good morning, Kwete.
Good morning, Winston.
And thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Great. So your investigations, or Joy News investigations led by you, is uncovered that persons suspected to have contracted COVID-19 are being held in the same ward as other patients, including pregnant women. Now, this is the VIP ward of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, the maternity block of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. And the reason is simple. Like other hospitals, the places designated for COVID cases are full, and staff won't go on record, but have told us that they wear the same protective clothing to ward inspections, including the ward, and with suspected COVID-19 cases. Now, let's listen to the full report by Kwete Nate, who would come back and he'll be telling us what more he found when he went to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital.
Hospital records show that on the 8th of February, to reach stock as they take samples as soon as possible. In quote, another patient with similar COVID-19 symptoms was also admitted into the ward on the 9th of February 2021. On the 5th of February 2021, another patient with symptoms such as severe anemia and pneumonia was also admitted in the same ward. Some staff of the maternity block who spoke to Joy News under condition of anonymity said the patients were on oxygen when they were brought in.
Well, some came in on oxygen, but now they're a bit better. Oxygen has been discontinued. So currently, their conditions are not so bad that we say, oh, for this patient, you're going to use hair. No, but the only problem is we are still waiting for their results.
When Joy News visited the ward, we observed that the VIP ward has been divided into 2. Patients with suspected cases of COVID-19 are treated at one wing, while the regular...
So bad that we say, oh, for this patient, you're going to use hair. No, but the only problem is we are still waiting for their results.
When Joy News visited the ward, we observed that the VIP ward has been divided into 2. Patients with suspected cases of COVID-19 are treated at one wing, while the regular ones are at the other end. The staff described this as extremely risky to the patients.
One side, which is the west, we receive normal cases. In the east is where we have the suspected cases, which is very dangerous. But what can we say?
Hospital staff tell Joy News what's more dangerous is that they use one protective clothing for all clinical inspections. This is because of inadequate PPE at the maternity block.
The PPEs are not enough, so we are trying to manage. We are just trying to manage, but under normal circumstances, as soon as you enter any room, you should discard whatever you are wearing from head to toe. But when you enter one room, you move to another room with the same PPE.
The staff tell Joy News they have started taking COVID-19 medication in order to protect themselves as well as their families from contracting the virus.
I'm already on the medications, some of the medications, and I've started treating my kids as well. The whole family, we are on it.
They confirmed to us that transferring such cases to the maternity ward is because the holding bay for isolation is full.
My concern is, at least, they should make us know if really they are using the floor, maternity set floor, as a holding bay. Well, prepare our minds psychologically. Also, if we need training. Training has to be given to us. Under normal circumstances, those caring for the COVID patient, they all undergo special training. And those of us on the floor, we don't have that training. So how are we going to cater for the patients, even if we have PPEs? It can never be done. So I think we need training to cater well for our patients. They are our patients. For that one, we can never say, yeah, we need to take care of them.
Head of Public Relations at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Mustafa Salifu, has however denied the claims that COVID-19 and non-COVID patients are being kept in the same ward. According to him, their holding bays take one suspected case at a time to prevent the spread of the virus. On claims of inadequate PPEs, Mr. Salifu said the hospital has enough for both staff and patients. Kwetinatis report for Joy News.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Right, so that's Kwetinate's report, and he's joined us this morning. The fact that if you go to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, suspected COVID-19 patients are being kept in the same ward with other patients, including pregnant women. So, suspected patients are kept at the east wing of the ward, and those who are not suspected to have COVID-19, that includes pregnant women, are kept at the west wing of the ward. Kwetinate is here. He's joined us in studio. So, Kwete, tell us what triggered this investigation.
So, Winston, there were earlier complaints that treatment centers at some hospitals were full, and patients with suspected cases were struggling to get beds. So, earlier the Ghana Health Service had debunked these claims that were making the rounds. So we decided to check whether this is true, whether treatment centers are full. So we took our license to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, and we picked details that suspected cases, patients with suspected COVID cases, were being treated in the same ward like normal patients. So that was the reason why we took, such an initiative.
Now, tell us what you saw, what you unraveled when you went to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital.
Interestingly, what I did was that I gathered 3 strands of evidence. The clinical notes. When you take a look at the clinical notes, you would see that the patient with suspected COVID cases had difficulty in breathing, they had fever. In fact, the day I went there, there was one patient who had been brought in with oxygen beside her, and she was being wheeled into the ward. And my source told me that there's another suspected case that's been brought here. So on the west wing, you have the suspected cases. who have been placed in the ward. Then on the other end, you have the normal patient, and this is the maternity ward. So you have pregnant women there, you have nursing mothers there. So that's what I saw when I went there.
So you saw pregnant women in the same ward as suspected COVID-19 patients?
Definitely. So the VIP ward of the maternity block of Kolebu, it has a number of wards. So what's happening there is that the suspected COVID cases have been placed at one end of the ward, and then the normal ones are at the other end. And it's the same staff that's treating both the suspected cases and the regular ones. So what they do is that after taking care of the regular ones, then they will put on their PPE, and it's that same PPE. So in one of the videos we filmed of a nurse doing her regular ward inspection, was she was in her PPE, and that same PPE, she went to the various rooms where the suspected cases were. So after taking care of them, she comes, she discards that same protective clothing, and then she goes to take care of the normal one.
We'll come back to you because we need to find out more about this particular issue. But it's time now for the BBC News, and it's brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Provident Insurance Company Limited. With Provident, man, you are covered. But first, some few messages from our partners.
Hey, Baba, Charlie, I want a haircut. Quick, I have somewhere to be before noon.
Charlie, why are you so much hurry? It's a woman, huh?
I want to use the bank in the city to get some money out.
All the way in the city? But Charlie, you know say I be FBN Bank Ghana agent. I help all my customers and neighbors